All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can I have your name, please?
Of course, my name is John Fan, and you can call me Josephine.
Okay. Can I see your ID, please?
Of course.
Do you have a mobile phone with you?
No.
All right. Now, in the first part, I'm going to ask you something about yourself. Okay. Now, could you tell me, are you a student or do you work?
I am a student in Hunan First Normal University.
Now, what do you study?
My major is English education.
Do you like your major?
Of course, because I think English is the most interesting subject, and I really want to become a teacher in the future.
Why did you choose to study the subject?
Because I think this subject attracts me a lot, just like the English literature and advanced English, and all of these subjects can teach me a lot.
What do you want to do after graduation?
I want to become an English teacher in primary school because I love children so much, and I think teacher is a suitable career for me.
All right. Now let's talk about fruits and vegetables. Do you like to eat fruits and vegetables?
Well, I don't like eat vegetables, but I'm very like fruits. Just like kiwi, cherry, blueberry, and blackberry, and so on.
What's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit is strawberry, peach, watermelon, and coconut because I think they were full of nutrition.
Do you think it's important for us to eat fruits and vegetables?
Absolutely yes, because I think fruits and vegetables can provide us the human needs, and also I think eat fruit and vegetables every day can help us to stay healthy.
Okay. And now let's talk about TV programs,
Okay.
right? And how often do you watch TV?
Approximately once a week because I am a student. I live in the school from Monday to Friday, so I only have chance to watch TV at weekend.
What kind of TV programs do you like?
I love entertainment and talent show very much. Like the Voice of China, and I think that kind of show can give me a lot of fun, and I really love it.
Do you think children today watch too much TV?
Yes, in my opinion, I suppose yes, because children nowadays have more choice to have more time to watch TV because they have less homework than past, so they will watch more TVs nowadays.
Okay. What do you think of advertisements on TV?
I think advertisement is a good method for the companies or business to make profits because through that advertisement they can persuade customers to buy their gifts or goods. Yes.
All right. Now, in the second part, I'm going to ask you, give you a topic, and you can prepare for 1 minute, and then you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And the topic is to describe a time that you had a disagreement with your friends. And you can prepare for 1 minute, and don't worry if I stop you. Okay, now you can begin.
Okay. When I was asked to describe a disagreement with one of my friends, the first one that comes to my mind is a debating competition. Please allow me to give you some basic information first. It happened in last semester in our school, and there were 3 classmates, and I was selected by our teacher to form a debating team. Because that first prize was attractive, and the first winner would have 1,000 RMB. So it took us almost 2 months to prepare for that competition. And the story went like this. At first, we were preparing for some documents and collecting some proofs. And after that, I had a disagreement with one of my team members. Because I suggested that the most powerful point should put at the first, but He thought it would be reasonable to put it at the end, so we argued with each other. And 3 days later, I told my dad about the thing, and my dad said we have to think in somebody else's shoe and consider comprehensively, and he also thought it would be better to put it at the end. Eventually, I compromised and agreed to put it at the end of our debating. And at the end of the day, I felt a slight of guilt to my group member because of my rude behavior, and I also thought I think I have to become mature and in the future. Yes, and that is what I want to share with you. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Now, can I have the pencil and paper back? Now, I'd like to ask you some general questions about this topic. Do you always have disagreements with others?
No, because I think disagreement is not kind of friendly things, and I think some disagreements with others cannot help us to solve the problems.
Okay, and do you think it's important to have different opinions in our life?
Absolutely yes. I think different opinions can always give us a new point to see the things, and of course it can give us fresh ideas and a perspective to watch the things around us.
In what situations in our life do we have disagreements with others?
I think there are so many situations, like some academic issues. We may have disagreement with our team members, or some trivial things in our life, like clothes or food or travel and so on.
What kind of people like to have arguments with others?
I think maybe the people with aggressive and ambitions would like to argue with others, because they always thought their opinions are right, and they hate to agree with others' opinion. So it might be possible for them to argue with others.
Do you think it's possible that disagreement might influence the relationship between people?
Certainly, I think some arguments may broke a relationship between two friends, and but it depends on the situation. But if in some academic issues and we have disagreement with our members, and I think it's a good choice for us to have a deeper communication with others, and I think this can enhance our relationship. But if argue with some not important things, and I think it might ruin our emotions or feelings to others.
Okay. Compared with the students like 20 years ago, do you think students today have more of their own opinions, or are they more independent nowadays?
From my perspective, I suppose the answer is yes. Because the children nowadays have more worries. They are not carefree like the past 20 years. They have to worry about their work, studies, or manage their relationship with others. So they have to become independent, because if they are not be independent, and their parents cannot always be accompanied with them, so they may not be able to solve the problems by themselves.
If we only have agreements in this world, what problems might occur?
Well, I think maybe that conversation would be boring, and you will feel just like talking to a wall, and there will be no fresh ideas or new perspective, and that conversation would be plain and no use.
Do you think it's important to teach our children critical thinking?
I suppose the answer is yes, and I think it's necessary to teach our children to have critical thinking, because under the educational system in China, the children only taught about the doctrine or some disciplines. They can only to obey them, not to show their own thoughts or ideas, and I think it's not good for children's development.
All right, so that's the end of the test, and thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Okay, so here is another full test. Let's have a listen.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can I have your name, please?
Of course, my name is Zhang Fan, and you can call me Josephine.
Okay, can I see your ID, please?
Of course.
Do you have a mobile phone with you?
No.
It's kind of weird, because usually they check that before the test starts. I don't think the examiner is going to ask if you have a phone on you.
No.
All right. Now, in the first part, I'm going to ask you something about yourself. Okay. Now, could you tell me, are you a student or do you work?
I am a student in Hunan First Normal University.
Now, what do you study?
So we can already notice there's a bit of a slur here. When you said normal, it came out as
First Normal University.
normal. Bit of a slur there.
Now, what do you study?
My major is English education.
Do you like your major?
Of course, because I think
Of course. Okay, so there's some intonation there.
English is the most interesting subject, and I really want to become a teacher in the future.
Okay. Yeah, so her pronunciation is not bad. And so far the answers are all fine.
Why did you choose to study the subject?
Because I think this subject attracts me a lot.
The subject is singular, so this is going to be attracts. In English, I don't know if you would really say that a subject attracts you. You would say you find something really interesting or something really appeals to you instead of it attracts you.
Just like the English literature and advanced English, and all of these subjects can teach me a lot.
What do you want to do after graduation?
Oh my goodness, how many questions are there about this? Seems like there are a lot of questions about what you do.
I want to become an English teacher in primary school because I love children so much, and I think teacher is a suitable career for me.
Okay, so being a teacher would be a suitable career for me. Because she's still a student, right? So being a teacher would be a suitable career for me.
All right. Now let's talk about fruits and vegetables. Do you like to eat fruits and vegetables?
Well, I don't like eat vegetables, but
Okay, so here we have a problem with a very basic sentence. I don't like to eat vegetables, or I don't like eating vegetables.
I am very like fruit.
Oh boy, and here we have I am very like fruit. Okay, so she seems to be having trouble with even the present tense.
Fruits. Just like kiwi, cherry, blueberry, and blackberry, and so on.
Okay, but she knows a couple of fruits.
What's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit is strawberry, peach, watermelon, and coconut.
Okay, notice how she pauses between them. Strawberry, peach, watermelon, and coconuts, and then her voice goes up. I don't know why it goes up on coconuts. Maybe she thinks saying coconuts is surprising. Because usually your voice would drop on the last item in a list like this.
Because I think they were full of nutrition.
Nutrition's not a bad word. I don't know why here it's in the past tense. I think they were.
Do you think it's important for us
I think she was still trying to say something and the guy cut her off.
to eat fruits and vegetables?
Absolutely yes, because I think fruits and vegetables can provide us that can provide us the human needs, and also I think eat fruit and vegetables every day can help us to stay healthy.
Now, this is a problem here because she's trying to use a longer sentence, but she can't really do this successfully because can provide us, she should have said can provide us with the, I don't know, what. Because here the object is human needs. Because for needs, the verb should be fulfill, not provide. So vegetables can fulfill our human needs. I don't really know what human needs means here. But anyway, then she goes on to say, and I think eat fruit. So this should be eating. Maybe the human needs is like dietary needs. So she's having problems with the grammar in a longer sentence, and she's also having a problem with using the right words.
Vegetables every day can help us to stay healthy.
Okay. And now
Now hang on a second. How many questions did he ask about vegetables and fruit? Like 3? This is number 3, right? Okay, I don't know why there aren't 4 questions, but anyway, here's the next topic.
Okay. And now let's talk about TV programs.
Okay.
Right. And how often do you watch TV?
Approximately
I don't know where this is recorded. Why is it so noisy there?
once a week, because I am a student. I live in the school from Monday to Friday, so
I live in the school. I don't. Does she mean like? I think she's trying to say I live on campus. If your dorm or whatever place you're living in is on the campus, then you are living on campus.
I only have chance to watch TV at weekend.
Chances are countable, so I only have the chance to watch TV at the weekend.
At weekend.
What kind of TV programs do you like?
I love entertainment and talent show
Shows.
very much. Like the Voice of China, and I
guess this is a name, right? The Voice of China. Let's capitalize that. Voice of China.
like the Voice of China, and I think that kind of show can give me a lot of fun.
Give me a lot of fun. I don't know who will say that. Nobody. So I think that kind of show is really entertaining.
And I really love it.
Do you think children today watch too much TV?
Yeah, so the vocabulary is a bit basic.
Yes, in my opinion, I suppose yes, because
Oh my god, it's so loud where they are.
children nowadays have more choice to
More choices.
have more time to watch TV because they have less homework than past.
They have less homework than in the past.
So they will watch more TVs nowadays.
TVs? No, they'll watch more TV. All right, so this is also a pretty long sentence, but we can understand what she's saying. I don't think anyone will have trouble understanding, but there are a lot of mistakes.
Okay. What do you think of advertisements on TV?
I think advertisement is a good method for the companies or business to make profits, because through that advertisement they can
Because through those advertisements,
persuade customers to buy their gifts or goods.
gifts, buy gifts.
Yes.
All right. Now,
Again, I think there were only 3 questions. Not sure why.
in the second part, I'm going to ask you, give you a topic, and you can prepare for one.
I'm give you a topic.
And you can prepare for 1 minute, and then you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And the topic is to describe a time that you had a disagreement with your friends.
Alright, so usually they would say, I would like you to describe a time that you had a disagreement with your friends. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what the cues are. Maybe we can gather what the cues are from what she says in her response.
You can prepare for 1 minute, and don't worry if I stop you.
There's the prep time, 1 minute, condensed into 5 seconds.
Okay, now you can begin.
Okay. When I was asked to describe a disagreement.
Asked. When I was asked. When I was asked to describe.
It was one of my friends. The first one that comes to my mind.
Okay, so there's some problems here with the tenses. This is in the past, this is in the present.
That comes to my mind is a debating competition. Please allow me to give you some basic information first. It happened in last semester in
It happened last semester, there's no in.
our school, and
And,
there were 3 classmates, and I was selected by our.
wait, what? There were 3 classmates and I were selected. So there's no there. So 3 classmates and I were selected by
And I was selected by our teacher to form a debate.
2. Ooh, after 2 you should be using the infinitive. Well, the base verb to make the infinitive. So to form a debating team. And usually these teams are called debate teams, not debating teams. Debate.
Debating team, because that first prize was attractive.
Again, no one is going to say the prize is attractive. What did she say about the prize?
And the first winner would have 1,000 RMB.
Okay, so maybe the prize is very alluring, an alluring prize. 1,000 RMB. I don't know how much that is. Is that a lot? I guess for students it's a lot.
Active, and the first winner would have 1,000 RMB.
Would win. The first. Okay, so this would be the first place winner would win 1,000 RMB. First place winner.
So it took us almost 2 months to prepare
2 months.
for that competition. And the story went like this.
What story? I thought, because she's telling the story right now, right? So the story goes like this. It's happening right now. It didn't happen in the past. You're doing it right now.
At first, we were preparing for some documents and collecting some.
We were preparing for some documents. There's no for. We were preparing some documents.
And collecting some proofs.
Proof cannot be in the plural. So just we were collecting some proof. But in a debate, I don't know how you collect proof. Isn't it like you prepare your arguments?
And after that, I had a disagreement with one of my teachers.
Okay, so here she's trying to, not trying to, she does do this. She used this discourse marker after that, so we know the sequence. So this is good. After that, I had a disagreement.
Member, because I suggested that the most powerful point should put at the first.
That the most powerful point should be put in the beginning. The most powerful point should be put in the beginning.
But he thought it would be reasonable to put it at the end. So
He thought it would be better to put it at the end.
So we argued with each other. And 3 days later, I told my dad about this thing, and my dad said, we have to sink in somebody else's shoe.
Okay, so she's trying to use an idiom here. She doesn't quite pull it off. The idiom goes, you have to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Put yourself in someone else's shoes.
And consider comprehensively.
Consider comprehensively. I don't know what this means. Nobody says that.
And he also thought it would be better to put it at the end. Eventually, I compromised and agreed to put it at the end of our debating.
A compromise is not just saying, okay, I think you are right, I give in. That's agreeing with someone. Agreeing and compromising are not the same. A compromise would be give and take. What she's describing here doesn't sound like she's getting anything.
And at the end of the day, I felt a slight of guilt to my...
Oh, wait a second. What's happening here? This should be guilt, right? Did she say slight of guilt? Let's listen to this.
Felt a slight of guilt to...
Right. Okay, first of all, guilt is not countable. So I felt slightly guilty. I felt slightly guilty to... Guilt doesn't go with to. You can feel guilty about something.
my group member because of my rude behavior.
Okay, so this should be left out. You don't feel guilty to the group member. You feel guilty about what you've done. So I felt slightly guilty because of my rude behavior.
And I also thought,
so this TH got transferred to the S sound here, also thought.
I think I have to become mature and
I think she was trying to say mature. I have to become more mature. I think that's what she said, but I couldn't quite make it out.
become mature and in the future. Yes.
And in the future. She kind of overuses and. You might have noticed there were a lot of ands in this response. Here's another one.
And that is what I want to share with you. Thank you.
Actually, I wasn't really paying attention to the time. Let's see, 5:48. Yeah, it's fine. Length is fine. Fine. Let's go on. I don't know why the guy said, okay, very good. He's not supposed to say anything.
Okay, very good. Now, I have the pencil and paper back. Now, I'd like to ask you some general questions about this topic.
What is the topic? He just throws a question at her.
Do you always have disagreements with others?
I don't know what the topic is. They're supposed to tell you what the topic is. This here, I'd like to ask you some general questions about this topic. Actually, no, the topic is going to be different, and they will tell you what the two topics are. They're not just going to give you the question.
This topic. Do you always have disagreements with others?
It's kind of a weird question also. Number one, why always? Number two, why is this a personal question? This is supposed to be part 3, right? This question doesn't make any sense.
Have disagreements with others?
No, because I think disagreement is not kind of friendly things, and I think
disagreement is not kind of friendly things.
some disagreements with others cannot help us to solve the problems.
Okay, and
it's kind of a short answer. He doesn't ask her anything that might allow her to expand on her answer. He just goes on to the next question. You know, in part 3, the examiner wants you to talk about a topic, and they're going to want you to expand on your points. So if you give an answer as short as this one here, you are probably going to get asked to talk a little bit more about what you just said.
Okay, and do you think it's important to have different opinions in our life?
Absolutely yes. I think different opinions can always give us a new point to the
A new point. Give us new points. Oh, it seems to me here in part 3 she's kind of struggling with the vocabulary.
To the things.
To be the things. I don't know what this means. Give us new points to something, the things. It's kind of hard to understand what she's saying.
The things, and of course it can give us fresh ideas and a perspective to watch the things around us.
Okay, see now here she uses the word perspective, which is good, but then she goes back to watch the things. She said thing here, and she said things here, but I don't know what the things are. It kind of shows that she doesn't really have the vocabulary necessary to talk about these questions, or to answer these questions rather.
around us.
In what situations in our life do we have disagreements with others?
I think there are so many situations like some academic issues. We
I think she wanted to say academic, not academy.
may have disagreement with our team members or some trivial things in our life.
But then again, here she uses trivial, which is good.
Our life,
Oh, but then again, also, trivial things, again with the things, too many things.
our life, like clothes or food
It's clothes,
or travel and so on.
What kind of people like to have arguments with people?
Is this still the same topic? Is everything just going to be about arguments?
With others?
I think maybe the people with aggressive and ambitions.
Good, but not great, because you cannot have the people with aggressive. Okay, wait, hang on a second. Maybe I should see what's next. Oh, there's nothing else. These should be nouns, right? This is a noun. This is an adjective. So people with aggression, but usually we would say people who are aggressive. So let's change this to an adjective instead. So people who are aggressive and ambitious. Adjective, or noun. But you can't have adjective, noun together.
Would like to argue with others because they always thought their opinions are right and they hate to agree with others' opinion. So
I just noticed something here. Whoa, what happened there? Let's change that to possessive. Alright, let's go on.
so it might be possible for them to argue with others.
Ooh, what is that word? What is she saying?
To argue with others.
What? Argue, agree, I don't know. Alright, I don't know. The questions just continue. There's no second topic, it seems.
Do you think it's possible that disagreement might influence the relationship between people?
Certainly, I think some arguments may broke a relationship between
Broke a relationship. End a relationship. Or break up a relationship. But not break. The verb for relationship would be break up.
two friends, and but it depends on the situation. But if in some academic issues and we have disagreement
This is pretty good. Academic issues.
with our members, and
Yeah, but like this word she already used in part 2, right? So
I think it's a good choice for us to have a deeper communication with others.
now communication is not countable, so there should be no have deeper communication. Deeper and communication don't go together. It should be better communication. Or better communicate with others, but not deeper.
With others, and I think this can enhance our relationship.
Well, this is good. Enhance our relationship. All right.
But if argue with some not important things, and I think it might ruin our emotions or
Ruin our emotions. Emotions cannot be ruined. But anyway, what's the subject here? Okay, so but if argue with some not important things. Some problems here. So I think she's trying to say it's like when we argue about some unimportant things. When we argue about some unimportant things, it might ruin our emotions. I don't know how your emotions can be. If your emotions are ruined, does that mean you have no emotion? Because, I mean, even if you're angry or if you're upset, that's still an emotion. So if your emotions are ruined, you are emotionless? I don't know. Maybe she's trying to say it'll put you in a bad mood. But if you're in a bad mood, that is an emotion, right?
Our emotions or feelings to others.
Okay. Compared with the students like 20 years ago,
This is so specific.
do you think students today have more of their own opinions, or are they more independent nowadays?
I don't even understand the question. What are your options? Your options are, do students have their own opinions, or are students more independent? What is the difference between having your own opinion and being independent? It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yes.
From my perspective, I suppose that.
Alright, these discourse markers are pretty good. So she starts off by saying, from my perspective. I think she said it once or twice before, but she's not overusing it.
So yes.
Uh-huh.
Because
Because children nowadays
children nowadays have more worries. They are not carefree like the past 20 years. They have
see, they did not. Now, the past 20 years means, what year is it now? So it means like from 1999, sorry, from 1999 till 2019. That's over the past 20 years. But I think what she's trying to say is 20 years ago. Maybe not, or maybe she does mean over the past 20 years. But over the past 20 years means from 1999 until 2019. And that's different from 20 years ago. But maybe that is what she means.
like the past 20 years. They have to worry about their work, studies, or manage their relationship with others. So they have to become independent, because if they are not being independent,
If they're not independent, independent is adjective, so we don't need this be here.
and their parents cannot always be accompanied with them.
The parents cannot always accompany them. There's no be, because this is a verb. Cannot always accompany them. There's no with either.
So they may not be able to solve the problems by themselves.
If we only have agreement,
Okay, and this guy never asks any follow-up questions. He doesn't ask any questions based on what she just said. And I still don't see any change of topic.
in this world, what problems might occur?
Well, I think maybe that conversation will be boring, and you will feel just like talking to a wall.
Alright, I think this is maybe the first idiomatic language we've seen here. Talking to a wall. It's pretty good. So, just get no response.
To a wall, and there will be no fresh ideas.
I take it back. Here we have fresh ideas, also another idiomatic use of language.
Or new perspective, and that conversation would be plain and no use.
Plain's pretty good.
Do you think it's important to teach our children critical thinking?
Is anybody going to say no to this question?
I suppose the answer yes, and
The answer is yes.
I think it's necessary to teach our children to have critical thinking, because under the educational system in China,
Under the educational system,
the children only taught.
Okay, so she tries to use the passive here, but she's missing the be verb. Well, again, note the. So children are only taught. Are. I mean, she's trying, but it doesn't quite work.
Taught about the doctrine or some disciplines.
This is pretty good. I guess because she's studying education, so she knows these words, but they're good words to use.
They can only to obey them, not to.
What does the them refer to? Obey them? The disciplines? I don't know. Obey a discipline. That sounds kind of weird. I don't know what this they refers to. Or them, rather.
Not to show their own thoughts or ideas, and I think it's not good for children's development.
Children's development is pretty good.
All right, so that's the end of the test, and thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Wonderful. Okay, so let's have a look at the scores. Alright, fluency and coherence to be a 6. She's willing to speak at length. Occasional repetition. Yeah, it wasn't all the time, right? And the self-correction, even though there was quite a bit of that, it wasn't all the time. Maybe a little bit more than occasional. The range of connectives, yeah, we saw that, like she said, from my perspective. And there was a little bit of overuse of and. She used and quite a bit. But yeah, there was a range of that. For Lexus, yeah, she could discuss some topics at length, not all of them. And I could understand what she said, even though she used the wrong word sometimes. There were a couple of times in part 3 where she used thing too often. But hey, it says discuss topics. It doesn't say discuss every topic at length. The grammar, same thing. We saw some complex sentences. And even though the complex sentences did have a lot of mistakes, it didn't really make it impossible to or difficult to understand what she's saying, right? So again, 6. And pronunciation, yeah, we saw some intonation. I didn't see a whole lot of stress. Her chunking was generally okay. We saw a few examples of connected speech. She did mispronounce some words, but not so much that we couldn't understand what she was saying more than a couple of times. So a 6 would be a good fit for her as well there.